You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement, hesitating before you begin the descent.
You know what you have to do. Wipe away the grit from the mirror, and behold our handsome features.
You reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. What are you doing?
Alas, our fine features remain unseen. We'll just have to trust that she'll find us beautiful as we are. Well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it?
Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us. You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease, at least on the way down. But you don't need to think about the way back up just yet. That's a matter for after the world's been saved.
These thorns are an expression of her pain. I know it. She's calling out for help.
Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? We kill each other and you come back. You let me kill you and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me. I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't leave. So, come down and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess, her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh? I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you help me if you weren't helping yourself?
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you.
Her eyes briefly meet yours, then dart back to the floor. She hangs her head in resignation.
Okay.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms.
She trusts us. She trusts us. Doesn't that set your heart aflutter?
Yeah, a little. It could just be nerves. Being this close to her does bring back unpleasant memories, but I don't know, it doesn't feel bad. It feels good. Like we're special to her.
We are special to have gained an ounce of trust from a maiden so guarded. Now all that remains is to free her from her bindings.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's show her how much both of us have changed. Or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance. That sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him.
I see that the lines have been drawn.
It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with...
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
Yes, what a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her? You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision. I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action. Let's free this princess.
Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Let him join us and be merry. We are all united by our passion.
That's right. What he said. We've already given him a chance at redemption. And who says I don't deserve another? I really mean it this time. I'm big enough to admit when I'm wrong. So I want to help you all free her.
And I have no problem with that. Welcome to the team. You're one of us now. One of the good guys.
You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not going to do that, are you? Still, all it would take is a single slip of the blade.
Such a pathetic attempt at distraction and subterfuge. Our blade is a dashing sword, and every dashing sword is an extension of its hero. It won't slip.
You're right. He can't even make it slip, can he? He's a bit of a nobody. Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the beginning. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
Do you see the way she's looking at us? Kiss her. Kiss her now before the moment ends.
Can we actually do that? No, you can't. Absolutely not.
You know as well as I do that we can.
And we wouldn't want to throw away a chance for a special moment, now would we? If I were only capable of throwing myself off a bridge.
Well, are you going to describe our steamy, romantic kiss?
You lean in and you kiss her. And she reciprocates enthusiastically. You kiss. It's done. Are you happy now?
Come on now, this is the big moment. You can do better than that.
Ugh, fine. You and the princess lock eyes and stare deep into each other's souls with all the roaring emotion that comes from letting what once was hatred turn into pure, unbridled passion. Are you making fun of us? And then each of you close your eyes and kiss. Words can describe neither the nuclear fire nor the oceanic depth of your connection. Please. I think he actually likes romance. If history itself were not about to end, historians would document this moment for the rest of time. Musicians would write era-defining ballads, and great artists would expend entire lifetimes trying to merely capture the spark you hold right now.
He's making fun of us. It doesn't matter either way, because this is good stuff.
I'm aware of my skills. But unfortunately for you, the moment doesn't last forever. You open your eyes, the princess smiles gently up at you. Time for you to damn the whole world to oblivion, I suppose.
That was nice.
Her hand slips into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out.
Please, after all the trials we've been through, do you really think a few measly thorns can stop us? Love is an even more powerful weapon than our blade.
We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of the way. What a pathetic showing, really.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
As you step into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this?
Your nightmare is our dream. Whatever world would condemn star-crossed lovers like us to a cycle of violence and despair isn't a world worth saving. We'll weave something new together. Something better.
You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into a new day, you irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now? Where's everything going? Why is it so cold?
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right? If they think it's bad, I'm with them.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. This one yearns for connection she feels she doesn't deserve. Even when shown compassion, she hid herself away. She will make for a cautious heart. Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore. I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that, you're here. You make a warning. She will lie. We're not going to go through. Ignore him. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is her voice.
Hello?
Don't let... Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. I am begging.
Hi!
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to they're large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere up. Doubtful.
Okay. I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam.
There's a slight panic, right?
If I could just get out of these chains.
She barely hesitates as she rips her flesh from her bow. It's the blade from... Or we could use it to free her. You won't like...
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the wound. Okay, there's no go.
You bastard.
The princess pushes away from you, wounded but still alive.
You've made a
I thought we had the up at an act. I'm not so. Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same arrow. Your blade cuts into. Forget about trying to Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation. We can still turn this around. Are you serious? As what's left of your blood pools around you on the princess, wounded but still alive, nervously jumps at the blade and kicks it far away from you before retreating into a dark corner of the room. Her shining eyes watch you from the darkness, unblinking and curious as you bleed out. We can only hope the wounds you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, they'll kill her before she can reach the outside world.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
This is the end, isn't it? Before you can answer, everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature? I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell. That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe. The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden. The blade is your implement. I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now. There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous. The princess lunges from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain. You are devoured. I guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no, this isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time. The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. We don't have steel, but we have tooth and claw. Tear through her before we are her.
Oh, can I?
The click of what you presume to be a door ripples through the layers of suffocating flesh.
That wasn't so hard.
You feel her take another massive step, and then another, and then... It's gone quiet, hasn't it?
I guess I don't need you to be a part of me. How lucky for you. This place is cold.
She's gone. And is that a... This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Flat.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same. This one is consumed by instinct, a predator pushing those around her to adapt. She will make for a cunning heart. She wishes me to devour you, to make you a part of myself, but she is only a voice. Do not mourn her, for she is part of something greater. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.